I just took my first sip of coffee and now I feel alive.
I didn't make coffee this morning, which was a wild thought.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'll probably make it as soon as we're done recording. Mm-hmm. But, you know, some mornings you wake up and you're like, get it in your bloodstream immediately. And some mornings you wake up and it makes you feel nauseous to think about drinking coffee immediately. That's kind of how I was when my alarm went off at 4 a.m. So,
yeah, very, very fair.
But I did wake up and see that Susie was appointed managing director of the F1 Academy, which is huge news.
So this is me. The first thing that I thought when I saw this, besides like all of the great, amazing things it means, is, oh, so she was probably offered the Williams job, but then was like, nah, I'm gonna go do this and make things better for females in motorsports. But that's just what I'm telling myself. But it does, I mean, I think we're continuing to see that we want, or we're continuing to hope that F1 Academy is going to make a difference and that they are going to actually provide funding where it should be funded and access and hopefully doing things the right way. And having Susie involved makes me feel slightly better about that, but still it's a lot of just announcements and not a lot of like concrete things thus far. But
I just always will feel more comfortable at an initiative aimed at correcting a diversity problem when they put someone in that minority group in charge of the program. Like, Susie is incredibly aware of what stopped her career from progressing and what stopped her from getting the opportunity in F1. And she has always been very vocal about when programs arise that do not meet or solve the issues that she directly experienced and that she understands that people are still directly experiencing right now. She was very critical about the W Series while it was going on, and everything she said was very accurate about it, and not necessarily because it failed, but because it was not properly set up to solve some of the issues. So I still do not fundamentally believe that the solution to getting more women in motorsports is segmenting them in a separate category. But I do trust her voice and the power that she holds, and I like that a woman's in charge. Because she knows.
Yeah, it felt like that had to be like the must of any decisions they make for F1 Academy. I mean, I feel like there's a lot, but if they were to put any kind of non-female in that role, it kind of definitely would have been like, huh. But
like
to your
every
point,
other female initiative in F1 right now, where it's like a bunch of men in a room being like, we'll solve your problem, women. And we're like, can we just tell you what the problem is and how we want it solved? And they're like, no, we're going to do it for you. And it's like, okay, this is definitely going to work.
Yeah. To your point, it is it's spot on. She knows where the access points really get slim and like what stopped her. And it's a perfect perspective and voice and someone that is willing to be an advocate for these things, not only because it's like their life experiences, but, oh my gosh, because it's the right thing to do. Like, wow, what a concept.
And she's good at being a managing director. She has experience both being a manager and a leader, and she has experience as a driver in this field. So, like, I don't think there's a more perfect person that you could pick to run this program. She also has all of the connections in the paddock to make sure, because now they have established the benefit of what they're preaching as the F1 Academy is that there's going to be a direct funnel to F3 teams for these drivers. But I have yet to see the commitment to guarantee them those seats.
Right.
And I am constantly worried that what's going to happen is it's going to be the same thing as the W Series, where it's going to be treated as a destination instead of as a starting point. Like, it's not, congratulations, you made it to the female series, and you can go race with other women over there. Like, this is supposed to be
Oh, you did it.
Yeah. I've always said is the only way the W Series was going to be successful is if it funneled women into F3, F2, and then eventually F1. And it failed to do that. So I'm hold F1 Academy to the same standard, which is the only way this is going to be successful is if they get a driver, admittedly in the next 2 years if I'm being generous, but it really should be whoever wins the F1 Academy this year needs a seat in F3 next year. And I will ring that bell all year. Because right now, they're making all these announcements. They're like, look, woman gets into F1 Academy. Isn't that great? That's what all these announcements feel like to me. And I'm like, yes, that is great. But what's great is that this should guarantee the winner a seat in F3.
Right. Because this is not them getting into F1 or F3. Or it's not, like, F1 Academy should not be the pinnacle of sports because you have boobs. Or just, like, what, like...
Right. So to bring it back to Susie, what is also promising for me is that she has all these connections in the other series, like the levels up. And I'm hoping that those connections and those relationships she's built in F3 and F2 will help push these drivers through the feeder funnel. Because that's the whole point of these series, to not be a destination, to be a feeder funnel. And so that's really why I'm so hopeful, because I'm sure there are many people who could do the job of managing director, but she has such unique, specific qualifications. Plus,
there's only one Susie Wolff.
Yes, I absolutely adore her.
But I wanted to give a big thank you to VoiceOver Man and our four-legged producers. Make sure you are turning on auto downloads and that you rate and review the pod after listening. You have no idea how much this helps us out. Lights Out is this weekend. So, hey, Apple Podcast listeners, help us out with our goal of getting 5 reviews by Bahrain, which is this weekend. So please let us know what you like, what you love, what you'd love to see us try out and maybe do. If you have a segment idea, we'd absolutely love to hear it. Follow us on every single social media platform. Maybe you prefer one over the other. Doesn't matter. We are at Gridwalk Show everywhere, offering you some daily grid walks. And we'll be back every Thursday, and we hope you join us. Today was like an entire grid race and not a grid walk.